مساء الخير شباب. أتمنى إن كلكم تمام. بالنسبة ل AHPI، زي ما احنا قلنا يعني في الشارت اللي أنا بعتها، إن we have to set our stop loss at خليني أجيب AHPI. زي ما أنا قلت احنا we have to set up our stop loss at around 1190. اوكي. في الانترفال. وليه؟ لأن من الواضح لو بصينا هنا دي 30 minute chart. There was accumulation period or stage, then it's uptrending, which was good and for scalping. لو بصيت هنا ال uptrend, there is like two stages where you have higher high and another higher high, then higher low and another higher low, which is a typical يعني uptrend. Then it breaks the ده أنا بستخدم 5-day moving average. تمام. It's different. It doesn't mean 5 moving average. It's a 5-day moving average where you calculate in a way that when you do your calculation, you will find it's 65 moving average that fits this 30 minute. There is certain mathematical equation behind it. It's very straightforward, but you have to do it. لأن it gives you an accurate distribution للماركت، بحيث إن أنت الماركت open 9:30 and close 4, so it's 6.5 hours. If you distribute 30 minutes, this means that you have around let's say, just hold on. If you have 30 minutes, okay, so this means and 30 minutes in 6.5 hours. تمام. يبقى أنت عندك تتكلم في 13 unit of 30 minutes. مظبوط. فمعنى كده in 13 minutes يبقى أنت 13 times 5-day moving average, which is 13 times 5, it will give you 65. So when you set up your moving average, you have to set it as a 65. ومن الواضح هنا إن حصل، شايف في هنا it's a big sell happening. So they break the 5-day moving average for the 30-minute chart. And it's typical for any charts, even if you go to 15, like if you go to the 15 time frame, you should set up your moving average as 130. Anyway, فلو شايفين هنا في a strong break to this support line, because it was acting as a support line. If you see here, it already break it, then it goes up, bounce, goes up, bounce, goes up, bounce. So this was an acting as a support, dynamic support line. So it breaks and go down. Okay, this is like a signal, and when they break it, this is because you have the suppliers or the sellers, they have the bigger, they have the upper hand. This is why I'm using as well the anchored VWAP, اللي هو anchored volume weighted average price, and you anchor it on the swing points. بمعنى you anchors on the low point like here, or highest point like here, and it's keep calculating, and those they act as a dynamic support and resistance line. And typically, if the price below, this is mean that buyer start to lose control, and who is like taking control is mainly the sellers. And this is what happened here on those two lines, and then it followed with this line, okay, and so on. So what will happen is it's better to set up our stop loss around 1190, and we will see in the morning what's going to happen. If we have more buyers getting in, um, and this is mainly either يعني individual أو institution hedge funds, where they can push this price back so we can take the upper hand and go beyond those lines. And then looking into the price prediction or price action, then we can collect profit. The beauty of this ticker, and it has a very low float. If you look here, it has a low float, so the price movement is very high and the movement is very sharp. And if we look here, it moves from around 1030 and it reaches maximum 1609 high, and it closes at 1460. This is almost, and maybe I'm saying around less than half an hour. يعني this is in a 30-minute chart, so it's in a 30-minute. يعني it might happen even faster than this. يعني الidea to زي ما قلت to adjust your stop loss. If they break there is a strong support line at 12. If they break it and go beyond, so at least we get out of this trade and monitor this interval. Either it's gonna decline fast, or it's gonna distribute for a while and then accumulate. Then we start pumping. Maybe we can see this in the next coming days. تمام. At that time we have to just anticipate and just monitor it and get in at the right time when it start building up the first higher highs, similar to what's happening here when it start building. Um, and one of the alerts الموجودة as well that I realized, if we go to this is more into the money flow. So you can see clearly after hour and Friday morning there was a huge amount of money getting out of the security or getting out. So this is why you see the money flow index is just dropping very fast, and at the same time el, el, el volume flow indicator. لو هنتكلم مثلا على الماني فلو indicator او they name it volume weighted RSI, ده بيmeasure the flow of the money into and outside this security over a specific period of time. فلو شفنا هنا it's a very fast drop in the money flow index, and as well the volume flow indicator اللي هو هنا it's mainly showing the flow of the volume function in time. فلو بصينا هنا لو values those two curves, one is the volume flow and the other is the moving average of it. So if you look here, you can see clearly this is the zero line, and this is an histogram showing the volume. If the values, mainly VFI, is above zero, so this is considered a bullish and indicate long-term accumulation. If it's below, so this shows a negative value. If it shows negative value indication, so this is a distribution and thus a bearish signal. So it gives me here a strong bearish signal that you can see clearly that it's it's going out, dipping down the volume flow. So we will see on Monday. Just stay kind of yani tuned and make sure to set up your stop loss so we can yani save ourselves.